Okay guys, now we're going to make a cabinet door. The hinges that we're going to use for this door are 1/2 inch overlay hinges. And that simply means that your cabinet door needs to overhang the face frame by 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. So to come up with the size of the door, it's really simple. You're just going to measure the opening of the face frame here, which is 12 inches, and we'll measure the opening of the face frame here, which is 27. So we're going to add an inch each way. The rails and the stiles on the door are going to be 2.5 inches wide, which is also a very common width for rails and stiles on a door. So here's our cut list for the rails and stiles for this door frame. Once again, we're going to use poplar. This is a 6-foot length of 1x6, and we'll be able to easily get all of the pieces for our door frame out of this one piece. So here we have all the pieces for our door frame, and this will ultimately be put together with the same pocket screws that we used for the face frame. But before we put anything together, we need to make a groove on the inside of these boards to receive the 1/4 inch panel that's going to live inside of here. We're going to make a 1/4 inch wide groove. I want the panel to go into the rail and stile about 1/2 inch. So in actuality, the dado that I cut is going to be about 5/8 of an inch deep. That way the panel has a little bit of room to move inside the rails and stiles. I'm going to use one of the short rail pieces as a test to set the saw up for the right width groove. And the way I'm going to do that is bring the fence over to the blade, and as close as I possibly can eyeball it, I'm going to try to put the blade in the center of the rail. And then I'm going to lock down the fence. I'm going to make one pass through. I'm going to spin the board around the other way and make a second pass through. That will center the dado perfectly in this board. And then I'm going to give it a test fit and we'll see how we did. So here's a piece of the 1/4 inch plywood that we're using for the panel. We'll give this a test fit, and you can see that the dado is not quite wide enough. So let's take this back over to the saw and make a quick adjustment. All I'm going to do is move the fence closer to the blade by maybe a 32nd of an inch, but not much at all. Lock it down and try it one more time. That's the kind of fit you're looking for. You don't want this to be super tight. It should be able to move somewhat freely. Okay guys, that's where we're going to stop for today. I'm not going to change any of the settings on the table saw now that we have this dado dialed in. Tomorrow we can run the rest of the dados through the stiles and rails, and tomorrow I'm going to show you why we ran a dado the whole way through the rail, but why you can't run a dado the whole way through the stile.